What makes a rivalry unforgettable? In Hollywood's golden age, some of the fiercest battles were not just on screen, but behind the scenes. These rivalries didn't just shape careers, they defined an era. In the glitz and glamour of old Hollywood, rivalries were often as captivating as the movies themselves. From passionate feuds over leading roles to personal vendettas that spilled into public view, these clashes between stars sparked drama both on and off the screen. Today, we're diving into the 10 rivalries that truly shaped the golden age of Hollywood. From bitter disagreements to power struggles, the stories we'll uncover will reveal just how intense and influential these conflicts were. Stick around as we explore the stars who made headlines for all the wrong reasons and how their rivalries still echo in Hollywood today. How did these feuds impact their legacies? Let's find out. 1. Bette Davis versus Joan Crawford, the ultimate feud. The rivalry between Bette Davis and Joan Crawford is perhaps the most famous in Hollywood's history. Both actresses were powerhouses in the 1930s and 1940s, known for their acting talent and their sharp, independent personalities. Their feud intensified during the making of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, 1962, where the tension between the two was palpable both on and off screen. Their rivalry began long before that, rooted in competition for roles and jealousy over each other's popularity. Davis, known for her serious acting chops, reportedly found Crawford's beauty and image-oriented approach to acting frustrating. Crawford, on the other hand, believed Davis was difficult to work with. The animosity between them reached its peak on the set of Baby Jane, where they fought bitterly over everything from costume choices to on-set pranks. The public became fascinated by their bitter relationship, and the media fed into the drama. Despite the tension, both actresses delivered unforgettable performances, cementing the film's status as a cult classic. Today, the rivalry between Davis and Crawford remains one of the most iconic in Hollywood history. 2. Humphrey Bogart versus James Cagney, the Battle of the Gangsters. During the 1930s and 1940s, two of Hollywood's biggest stars were Humphrey Bogart and James Cagney, both of whom became synonymous with the gangster genre. The two actors were at the top of their game, but there was a constant undercurrent of rivalry between them. Although they never faced off directly in a film, their competition for the same roles and their contrasting acting styles created tension in Hollywood. Humphrey Bogart was known for his cool, cynical demeanor and his portrayal of tough, morally ambiguous characters. His iconic roles in films like The Maltese Falcon, 1941, and Casablanca, 1942, cemented his status as one of Hollywood's most popular and respected stars. On the other hand, James Cagney was known for his high-energy performances and his portrayal of volatile, fast-talking gangsters. Cagney's breakthrough role came in The Public Enemy, 1931, a film that helped define the gangster genre. Despite their similarities, the two actors had very different approaches to acting. Bogart was more reserved and relied on subtlety, while Cagney was known for his explosive energy and theatricality. This difference in style led to comparisons between the two, and there was an ongoing rivalry over who was the better gangster actor. Bogart was often considered the more serious and sophisticated actor, while Cagney was seen as the more dynamic and charismatic performer. While both actors respected each other's talents, the competition for roles and the public's fascination with their contrasting styles fueled the rivalry. Bogart, who often found himself in the shadow of Cagney's more boisterous performances, was reportedly frustrated by the constant comparisons. On the other hand, Cagney was said to be irritated by Bogart's increasing popularity in the gangster genre. But how did these two iconic stars feel about each other in the end? Despite their rivalry, both actors shared a mutual respect for work. They never engaged in a public feud, but their rivalry remained a central part of Hollywood lore. Ultimately, both men left an indelible mark on the gangster genre, with Bogart becoming the epitome of the cool, noir anti-hero, and Cagney embodying the brash, energetic gangster archetype. 3. Katherine Hepburn versus Ginger Rogers, the Battle of the Actresses. Katherine Hepburn and Ginger Rogers were two of the most celebrated actresses of Hollywood's golden age, yet their rivalry was defined by contrasting approaches to fame and their craft. Hepburn, known for her strong, independent persona, was often seen as a more serious, intellectual actress. Her performances in films like The Philadelphia Story, 1940, and Bringing Up Baby, 1938, showcased her wit and depth. Rogers, in contrast, was beloved for her grace, charm, and dancing ability, particularly in her collaborations with Fred Astaire in films such as Top Hat, 1935, and Swing Time, 1936. Though both women were stars, their differing personalities and career choices led to competition. Hepburn was considered a more difficult actress to work with, and her refusal to conform to Hollywood's glamorous image often put her at odds with Rogers, who embraced the commercial and glamorous side of fame. The rivalry reached its peak during the 1940 Academy Awards when Hepburn won the Best Actress Oscar for The Philadelphia Story, while Rogers lost for Kitty Foyle. This loss reportedly fueled Rogers' frustration and added fuel to their ongoing competition. Despite their differences, both actresses had long and successful careers, and their rivalry remains a defining part of Hollywood history. 4. Elizabeth Taylor versus Debbie Reynolds, the love triangle rivalry. The rivalry between Elizabeth Taylor and Debbie Reynolds is one of the most tragic and dramatic stories in Hollywood history. The two actresses were best friends until the love triangle involving Reynolds' then-husband Eddie Fisher turned their friendship into a bitter rivalry. In the early 1950s, both Taylor and Reynolds were at the height of their careers. Reynolds was a beloved actress, known for her roles in films like Singin' in the Rain, 1952, while Taylor was already an established star with a string of successful films to her name, including Father of the Bride, 1950. However, things took a dramatic turn when Reynolds' husband, Eddie Fisher, left her for Taylor after Taylor's husband, Mike Todd, died in a plane crash. The fallout from the affair was immediate and public, with the media sensationalizing the situation. The once close friendship between Reynolds and Taylor became strained, and the two women found themselves at odds over Fisher's betrayal. Taylor, who had always been a controversial figure in Hollywood due to her many marriages and personal dramas, became the subject of public scorn for her role in the affair. Reynolds, meanwhile, was devastated by her husband's betrayal and the public scrutiny she faced as a result. But what became of their rivalry? In the years that followed, Taylor and Reynolds remained estranged, with both women speaking publicly about the pain caused by the affair. Despite their differences, however, both women eventually reconciled. Reynolds even spoke of Taylor with affection in later years, acknowledging that their rivalry had been a product of the circumstances rather than personal animosity. Their rivalry, while deeply painful, became one of the most memorable stories of Hollywood's golden age. 5. Marlene Dietrich versus Greta Garbo, the foreign divas. Marlene Dietrich and Greta Garbo were two of Hollywood's most glamorous and mysterious foreign-born stars during the golden age. Dietrich, born in Germany, was known for her sultry voice, seductive charm, and bold screen presence in films like The Blue Angel, 1930, and Shanghai Express, 1932. Garbo, a Swedish-born actress, was famous for her serious, dramatic roles, often portraying tragic and complex women in films such as Camille, 1936, and Grand Hotel, 1932. Despite their similarities, the two women were often pitted against each other by the media, who reveled in their contrasting personas. Dietrich embraced the spotlight and loved the attention that came with fame, while Garbo famously shunned the public eye, preferring solitude and privacy. This contrast fueled the rivalry between the two actresses. Dietrich's more flamboyant and sexualized screen presence was in stark contrast to Garbo's reserved and mysterious image, making them natural competitors in Hollywood's star system. Their rivalry was fueled by their different approaches to fame, with Dietrich being more open to publicity and Garbo remaining enigmatic. Despite their rivalry, both women became legends in their own right, and their contrasting styles left a lasting impact on Hollywood's golden age. 6. Vivien Leigh versus Olivia de Havilland, a Southern Belle rivalry. Vivien Leigh and Olivia de Havilland's rivalry is often overshadowed by their iconic roles in Gone with the Wind, 1939, where Leigh portrayed the fiery Scarlett O'Hara and de Havilland played the gentle Melanie Hamilton. Their contrasting characters mirrored their personalities off-screen. Leigh, known for her tempestuous nature, often clashed with colleagues, while de Havilland was calm and professional. This dynamic created a palpable tension during filming, especially as both actresses vied for recognition. Leigh's intense emotional performances earned her 2 Academy Awards, including one for Gone with the Wind, while de Havilland's graceful presence also earned her 2 Oscars. Despite their mutual success, the rivalry between them stemmed from their contrasting approaches to fame and the film industry. Leigh's unpredictable temperament contrasted sharply with de Havilland's more composed, professional demeanor, leading to friction during the production. However, despite their differences, both actresses went on to have successful careers. Leigh's enduring legacy lies in her captivating portrayals of complex characters, while de Havilland's graceful elegance and determination made her one of Hollywood's most respected actresses. Their rivalry is a testament to how different personalities could shape Hollywood's golden age. 7. Cary Grant vs. Clark Gable, the leading men showdown. Cary Grant and Clark Gable were two of the most iconic leading men of Hollywood's golden age. Both men were handsome, charismatic, and immensely popular, yet their styles and screen personas were vastly different. Grant, known for his suave sophistication, excelled in romantic comedies and dramas such as Bringing Up Baby, 1938, and The Philadelphia Story, 1940. His charm and wit made him the quintessential gentleman on screen. In contrast, Gable, often referred to as the King of Hollywood, embodied rugged masculinity and raw screen presence, exemplified in his role as Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind, 1939. His intense performances in films like It Happened One Night, 1934, and Mutiny on the Bounty, 1935, made him a symbol of virility. Despite their contrasting styles, the two actors were often in competition for similar roles. This rivalry was fueled by their shared status as leading men, each vying for the affection of audiences and critical acclaim. Although the two never publicly feuded, their competition was a hallmark of the era, with both leaving an indelible mark on Hollywood's legacy. 8. Frank Sinatra vs. Dean Martin, the Rat Pack feud. Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin's rivalry was more personal than professional, although it began in the public eye when both men were central figures in the Rat Pack. Sinatra was known for his perfectionism, work ethic, and strong sense of control, while Martin, the more laid-back member, was often seen as the fun-loving, easy-going counterpart. The two men had contrasting personalities that led to occasional friction, especially as Sinatra's ambitions for the Rat Pack grew. Sinatra's intense professionalism often put him at odds with Martin, who preferred to avoid the pressure of constant public scrutiny. While Sinatra remained at the forefront of the group's projects, Martin occasionally seemed content to let others take the spotlight. The tension between their approaches to fame and the entertainment industry created an underlying rivalry that intensified during the Rat Pack's peak years. Though their relationship remained largely amicable in public, their private lives reflected a deeper divide, especially as Sinatra's career demands clashed with Martin's more relaxed attitude toward stardom. Eventually, Martin distanced himself from the group, further cementing their rivalry. Their complicated relationship highlights the tension between ambition and enjoyment in Hollywood's glamorous world. 9. Judy Garland versus Lana Turner, the Hollywood diva conflict. Judy Garland and Lana Turner were both Hollywood icons of the 1940s and 1950s, yet their rivalry was rooted in stark contrasts in their personal lives and public images. Garland, the beloved star of The Wizard of Oz, 1939, was known for her emotional vulnerability and tumultuous personal life. Her struggles with addiction and relationships became public fodder, overshadowing her immense talent and making her a tragic figure in the eyes of the public. On the other hand, Lana Turner was known as the quintessential glamorous Hollywood diva. With her platinum blonde hair and sultry persona, she embodied the image of beauty and sophistication. Turner's personal life, though filled with scandal, including a highly publicized affair with actor Tyrone Power, only fueled her allure as a glamorous, mysterious figure. Garland's emotional struggles and Turner's polished image made them natural rivals, with their competition for leading roles adding fuel to the fire. Their rivalry wasn't just about roles, it was also about the image each woman projected to the world. Garland's image as the tragic star contrasted with Turner's perfection, highlighting the contrasting pressures faced by women in Hollywood at the time. Both women's legacies remain intertwined in Hollywood's golden age. 10. Shirley Temple versus Judy Garland, Child Star Showdown. Shirley Temple and Judy Garland were two of the biggest child stars of the golden age of Hollywood, but their rivalry was more about how they transitioned from childhood stardom to adulthood. Temple, known for her roles in films like Bright Eyes, 1934, was adored for her wholesome, adorable image. With her ringlets and cheerful smile, she became the world's most famous child star of the 1930s. Garland, on the other hand, achieved fame in The Wizard of Oz, 1939, playing the innocent yet determined Dorothy. However, as Garland grew older, her struggles began to overshadow her career, and she transitioned from the innocent girl next door to a more complex, emotionally charged performer. Garland's career and public persona evolved far beyond her child star days, but she continued to be compared to Temple, who remained associated with her earlier roles even as she matured. The rivalry was fueled by their competition for similar roles, with Garland often considered the more talented of the two, but less commercially successful. Temple's departure from the limelight marked the end of her reign, while Garland's struggles became part of her story. Their rivalry highlighted the difficulties child stars faced in Hollywood during the Golden Age, especially when transitioning into adult careers. So, what do you think? Could these rivalries have been avoided? Or were they an inevitable part of Hollywood's charm? No matter the answer, they undeniably shaped the Golden Age in ways we're still talking about today. If you enjoyed diving into these legendary conflicts, don't forget to hit subscribe for more captivating stories from the world of old Hollywood. Who knows what shocking secrets we'll uncover next?